Today is a giving love video. Or I don't know how to call this, actually maybe it sounds very weird in English, but I mean it's like a video speaking about all the benefits that you get when you play for ballet classes. First of all, if you don't follow my Instagram account, follow it because I have plenty of videos there playing for the ballet classes. And also in my highlight stories, you can see plenty of examples. So some days ago, I posted on my Instagram stories the question for ballet pianists asking which are the benefits that you find playing for ballet classes. I got some very nice answers. First, I'm going to say all my thoughts about this. One of the most important is the collaboration, how you have to work with dancers hand by hand. Depending on the students, if they are professional, if it's a big company, if it's a little school, depending also on the experience of the ballet teacher. So it's a constant collaboration. Second, you improve your ability to play music because you are constantly searching for new repertoire, new styles. Maybe you met a new teacher and then you get another feeling about another exercise, or maybe the teacher proposed you a style of music if you have time to work with this teacher, or you need to make arrangements of some songs, or maybe you hear a melody and you need to play it right away. So it helps to develop your ability to play music. Third, you develop your musical resources. For example, if you have a background in classical music, then, well, you know your resources. If you are a jazz pianist, then you have to work on improvisation, on all these harmonies, scales. But what happens when you arrive to play for ballet classes is that you need to find resources in many different places. 4. You expand your vision in music because you really need to find different music styles and different ways of playing. You need to adapt to the different dynamics of the ballet exercises and the styles of the school, of the ballet teachers that you work with. So many factors that can influence the point of view that you have about music. 5th, you are not playing just for an audience, you are playing for movement, for the ballet class, for the ballet exercise, for the students or the professionals. I find myself, even nowadays, like for example, taking care of how I conclude a phrase because I see it in the movement how they conclude their phrase. If you observe the little movements and the dynamics in the movement, this can give you also another understanding on your music, and also with your music you can influence the movements a little bit. So this interaction is very rich. And 6, which I think is one of the most interesting parts of this work, is that you work hand by hand with the ballet teacher. As I have mentioned many times, how is the background of the teacher? If he's experienced working with a musician, how is the background? If it comes from the Italian school, the Russian school, the American school, the French school, how is their musicality? How can you support them? How can you inspire them? And also then the person itself, how you create a good relationship, like the teacher trusts on you because you give what the teacher needs. This is kind of complex, sometimes works very well from the beginning, sometimes not. You have to be very emphatic, and you have to have like a good psychology. If you try to have empathy with the ballet teacher and see, for example, sometimes they do mistakes that are not related with you, but it feels like like they get irritated or something because the music is wrong, but actually I think in most of the times they get irritated or frustrated because another thing is going on the class. Maybe they are insecure, maybe they are dealing with a very difficult student or dancer. To be a ballet teacher is very complex, it's very hard. And I find that we have this amazing tool to support them and to see where they are insecure or where they are experienced. What can you learn or what can you teach them? I think in general ballet teachers, they like to hear our opinion. Of course, you have to be humble, no, and ask like for example, could I give you a tip about how you mark this, because this will help me more to understand something, or maybe if you change this, I will feel more comfortable from the musical point of view, or things like this, you know. So I think that's very, very interesting, and to connect with the ballet teacher. So these are my thoughts about the benefits playing for ballet classes. And now I'm going to share the ideas that other pianists gave me when I post the question in my stories. So Yo Young, or well, in her Instagram she's Urpiano, it's a little bit easier for me to pronounce. She say, freedom on my way. And I think that's so beautiful, that this profession makes you almost total freedom in so many ways. You can choose the music style, how you create the dynamics for the ballet exercise. Of course, you follow how the teacher is marking, but inside of this, you can choose plenty of things, and I think that's great. Celia, my Spanish friend living in Holland and playing also for ballet classes, she said learning to feel the 8 counts phrasing instead of counting them. When I read it, I was like, of course, obvious, but then I was thinking like, it's also an interesting point, because you know, at the beginning you really need to count all the time these 8s and practice. For me, it took me very, very long time, I have to say. Maybe for her it's easier. After many, like 10 years, I started to feel natural the count in 8. And it's a very good feeling, because you can sometimes get a little bit lost, but then you find where you have to conclude the 8, and it's a nice feeling, I think. Laurel Leal from Canada, a super experienced pianist giving a course for dance teachers, she said the creative space to work in chord progressions. So cool. Yes, and is also what I've been saying in another videos, like, you know how you feel these phrasings, these dancers' phrasings, and how you change these chord progressions, how can give a different feeling to the phrase. For example, it's not the same to change like the chord after maybe 4 counts, or maybe keep it the 8 counts and then change another 8 counts. This is going to create a very long phrase, which is going to give a calm feeling to the dancer and a kind of space phrase. And also what happens when you change the harmony every beat, for example, or every 2 beats, or when you change the harmonies and suddenly you stay in one harmony, or how when you analyze music styles, then you see how the chords change, how creates the style in the music that you are studying. It's not the same how chord progressions are developed in Baroque, in classical, in jazz, in pop, in modern music. In modern music, for example, there are so many songs with just 4 chords that go around and around and around, and the importance is in the rhythm and in the melody. So, you know, when you start to understand these chord progressions, then you have a wide understanding of what you can do and how these change of chord progressions affect the dancers. Juan Mata from Madrid, Spanish friend, also amazing pianist with large experience. He say, develop improvisation skills. Of course, it's one of the best things that you develop little by little when you play for dance. In my opinion, I improvise more and more, and I do it better, of course, every time, because you practice.
Allergic.
And Antonio, Italian pianist working in Ballet de Monte Carlo, he said, increase my artistic inspiration. I like the word inspiration, that how you get inspiration from the work environment, from the dancers, from the different styles of the teachers, how they teach, which kind of musicality they bring, if they sing or if they don't sing. And all of these little things that make you feel alive and make you feel inspired. He also said improve the teamwork. It's so intimate, you know, with the dance teacher, because it's every day they're sharing this creative room where you need to play music, and the dance teacher has to see what the dancers need. And he also say bring in new ideas. So of course, again, what I say before, another pianist, like how you bring new ideas and develop your musical skills. And Matthew Gregory from London say you get paid for it. Yes, you get paid for it. It's a job that is in general, I would say well paid, and I hope with these videos everyone is going to fall in love with this profession, so there will be more like good pianists and more value to this profession,
and everyone will want to play for ballet, and ballet teachers will want to have amazing pianists,
and everything is going to be amazing. And the last one that I want to mention is it was a dancer actually who said more feeling from the music. So that's also the point, that when you have live music, something is alive. It's not record music. It's not an album that you hear every time, and every time is the same. So, you know, to have this collaboration, this teamwork, these skills evolving and experimenting, and inspiration and improvisation and music exercise, and all of this together makes to have live music such a great experience for dancers and from ballet teachers.
The allergy. And now my nose is red.
Great. I would love to hear from you which are the benefits for you playing for ballet classes. Please leave in the comments. I love to read your comments. Yeah, maybe leave personal things or experience that you have had, or something that you want to share, and I will be very happy to answer to you. You can also write to my personal email if you want to comment something, or if you want that I give you maybe feedback about a problem that you have or something. And don't forget that I'm creating an online course. You can sign up on the link that I leave down below. For the people that sign up already, I'm very, very happy to see all your names and your emails from so many countries. I will give you some information soon about when I think the course will be ready. Give me thumbs up, and of course share these videos with people that can be interested. I see that also ballet teachers are getting interested on these videos because they can see how we think about our job with them, or even dance students or dance professionals, and of course with pianists that are already playing for ballet classes, or that are starting to play, or at least curious about this rich and beautiful profession. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!